Alrighty, so we are going to put some of this rear end together. I want to show you some stuff. These are some of the skins that go on the fin. This is a piece that's going to go down here. These are going to be part of the stabilizer, and there's a couple other pieces over here we're going to put in that become clear when we get there. We'll put them to the side. Initially, though, want to show people this whole thing because it's much more complicated than I thought, but it seemed over-engineered, but it makes everything so perfect, fit just perfectly. So the fin fit on like we said. There's an extra piece on here, a piece that was basically this piece like this, and then it went up like this all the way along. That's this piece right here that went in the dead center. I was like, what was that for? Well, that's forming this base, which is where the rear end of the fuselage actually goes. And so that's going to be this piece right here. And so, you know, then these were some formers you put on there, here and here. Underneath, that's got a hole here for what's going to be the tail wheel. It looks really great. And then these didn't just slide on when they did, but there was an extra piece here on either side that's put on. And those are going to be great because those are going to give me the shape, give me a place to glue the stabilizer skin on. So that'll be great. Here's the line for the fin, which goes around and then attaches back here. And this is the fin right here. And then this part, that's this light green and the light green down here, that's going to get extra fairing that goes on. So I went and I bent this around using this tool, because that way it wasn't such a sharp bend around there. I kind of rounded these parts to make them fit kind of around this gentle curve. And all this should do is fit right over there like so and glue in place just about like that. So that's the first thing we'll do, and should be easy. We'll put a little glue along the leading edge. We'll put some glue along the sides and any place we think that it's going to help with the attachment of this thing. But I think we'll start by a little glue here, and then we'll do just to give it a place to anchor. And we'll put a little glue all along here, because my assumption is that's where you're gonna have a main component. See, that gives it shape, which is awesome. So up and down here. These laser cut parts, by the way, I don't consider them cheating anymore. They're pretty nice to have if you can find them. I mean, not all the models have them. And then I'll put some along here, because this is where it's going to attach to the fuselage. So just a little along like that. A little bit of slop is okay, because you're going to get a fairing around there, remember. An extra fairing that's going to go there. But I want to make this so it at least has a place to kind of stick. Not too gloopy. Okay, now we should, with a bunch of test fitting, just be able to go like this. Bam. Push it down, pull it in, and squeeze it shut back here. That should be enough. And it looks like it is. It looks like it's drying and gluing already. Making sure it's kind of within the confines of the components there. Look good from here. And so we're going to call that a win. Look good on both sides. Okay, so that's awesome. That is basically in. I'll get one more squeeze back here, because it looks like really where it's touching is here and along the base. But that's more than enough, because I can't tell if it's really touching along that leading spine or not. Looks fine. Now, this part back here underneath is really amazing how this fits on. This will go right up like this. I've kind of pre-shaped it a little bit. It's got a flat piece down here, and that hole is for the tail wheel. It's going to go. But this piece is flat to correspond with this flat piece of the laser part. And then the rest is a slight curve, but it just fits right on like this, and I'll be able to pull it up like so and kind of squeeze it shut, and you can see that things kind of line right up. Pretty dang close as far as I'm concerned. And this piece here lines up with the stabilizer. So all we're going to do is figure out where exactly to put the glue. So what we're going to do is put glue where we think we need it, which is going to be along here and along on these pieces. Whoops, why don't you put more on, doorknob? That's a lot of glue. Put some down on that guy. Put some on there. I'm not gonna worry about the end yet because I have a feeling that we're gonna put that on sort of at the end. A little more glue here. Kind of get it started. And again, I thought this was like kind of over-engineered at first. And I thought, what on earth are these people doing? And I should have trusted the designer. I mean, whoever made this model, whoever designed it, was a real genius, because it really does make the model builder look good. It's fun to put together. There's no huge gaffes. Everything's matching up well. Any mismatches are the builder's fault. It's a pretty nice model, I gotta say. All right, so we'll go ahead and try to put this on. It should be easy. Slide it on like that. Bring it up on the bottom. And you can see that the stabilizer piece is lining up. And then I'm gonna take my finger, my thumb, and my other part, and sort of squeeze it up. Because I'm squeezing along there so that it goes into the contours. And you can see, oh my gosh, you can see that it's forming beautifully and that the stabilizer pieces are in line. I'm just giving it a little squeeze. This is beautiful down here. Gosh, you can see it. This is beautiful right here. There's my hole for my tail wheel. And it actually lines well. And then, because just to finish it off, I'll put a smidgen of glue back here. Beautifully done there, Dan. And squeeze that shut. Maybe squeeze it shut with tweezers. Might be a better idea. Just kind of give it a squeeze. Give it a squeeze, like Nacho Libre. And look at that. That is perfecto. These pieces even line up. I mean, look at this. This piece basically lines up right there nicely. This piece lines up very nicely here. I mean, within my tolerances anyway. Beauteous, okay? So fin and the tail part is on, the rear. Now, the next thing to put on is this piece. This piece is colored with the sort of the interior color of a lot of Japanese airplanes, from what I understand. And that just fits right over here and over here to give it some finish. I cut this out, I trimmed the edges, and there's a line down here that shows you where it's supposed to bend, so I did that. This should fit right like that, which it does pretty well. That's going to fit nice. That's going to be just fine. I might color this side a little bit. Let's color that with a little bit of our grayish, our weird color we have here, just to sort of, in case something shows through, it won't be as obvious. Doesn't have to be perfect. On the back side. Okay, so this is ready. So now we'll glue that in. And then there's a couple more pieces, and then we'll be good with the back end of the tail. We'll be all essentially done. So we put a little glue here, all along this, and we can squeeze out the excess. That'll work out fine. I don't think I'm missing anything. I'm kind of surprised there's nothing there to sort of give you a better purchase. It seems like it's just the edge of the paper. I don't think I'm missing any piece that goes in there. It'll be fine. But I'm sort of surprised because the rest of this is just like, it's amazing what they put on there so that you can't screw up. It's beautiful. All right, so put this little dude on. We'll just slide him right up in place. Make sure it's even. Make sure it's in there, which it is. And then line it up like that. And don't worry about the tip. It's a little higher, but that's okay because we got more stuff to put on there. And that's within my tolerance. That's just fantastic. Make sure that looks good. That's good. Make sure this is got a right angle, which we do. So that finishes that off. And now all I need is this top part here. It's hard to show you. This part right here, which needs to be closed up. This part I'm a little dubious about because I'm not sure how that's going to work. It has two pieces. It has a piece right here that wraps around, apparently. And then there's a top piece right here that goes on top of that to basically seal off the top like this. So let's see how this is going to work. Haven't done this yet, so you'll get to see this kind of in the raw, which is probably good. So this has to, it looks like on the directions, it just magically fits around here. Not sure how easy that's going to be, but we'll give it a try. My assumption is it's got to have a, right at the center, essentially, a place it bends around like that. And I will make sure at this point that it have that bend kind of in the center. Do they match up at the end? Yes, they do. And so now this just apparently sits like this. And I'm a little dubious of this, but it seems to be doing its thing. It's just kind of a weird way to do things, I think. But maybe that's because that's the shape of the airplane. You know, I don't know much about this airplane other than I think it's a pretty airplane. I'm not sure what that's supposed to look like, but what we'll try to do is make this a gentle curve in here. It's not quite so, I mean, the rudder is going to go on top of here, so that will help us a bit, but I do want to make it as nice as I can. All right, well, I guess what we'll do is go ahead and put some glue on here and some glue on that on the edge here. And we'll kind of see how this goes. Work without a net here. Working without a net. So we'll stick this on here like this. That looks grand, but let's just not panic yet. Put that on like so. Try the other side, see how that looks. I guess that's the way it's supposed to look. Looks odd to me, but I'm not the person who designed it. And then this just goes right on top like so. All right, I'll buy it. We're going to put some more glue. It's the last of our glue that's still wet. Put it on here. Put a fair amount on here because this has got a glue and it's got to kind of mold into place. Pop it on there. Kind of smooth out the glued surface. Oops, this is hard to show you guys. Maybe put that like that. Maybe give this a little push. And it has a little lip that goes up top there, so we're gonna. How does this side look? Passable. Doesn't look as good as the rest of it, but okay. There we go. There's the. Unless that's backwards. Do I have this backwards? Is the lip supposed to go? I wonder if I have this little skinny piece flipped upside down. Because the I wonder. Let me this is good. This is a good exercise. Because I'm not sure if maybe I have this backwards. Because why would that lip go up so funny like that? Let's take this off. Carefully. This is why I tend to make things off camera to make sure they work. But this is also instructive, so what the heck. So now let's try this the other way. Let's make this thing, I think it'd go either way, but because it's got this little kink here, I don't know if that kink is supposed to face down. Hope you're getting this. You probably aren't. But it's got that little piece right there that kind of goes bloop. And I wonder if that's supposed to fit like down like this. No, that's stupid. That's not, that doesn't go like that. It has to go like this. All right, I had it right in the first place. I just was nervous because it looks stupid. But I guess that's what they're looking for. So we'll put it back on the way we had it. That's okay. That's what this is all about. It's figuring stuff out and wondering why things look a certain way. And that doesn't tend to happen too much with plastic models, because plastic models, everything's molded pretty much the way you need it out of the box. And so you just kind of blindly follow, and it usually works pretty well. Now, there's certainly plastic models that are nice, much nicer than others, and that's true. But I guess we'll stick this on like we had it. Now I hope I can get it on like I had it. I hope it's not completely ruined. I don't think it will be. It'll be okay. Yep, that looks good. And then we'll put this little guy back on top. I just got panicky because it doesn't look, it looks strange to me. It doesn't look normal, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's what works. And I think that's how they designed it. So who am I to ask such stupid questions? Same thing, make sure it's on there. Make sure it's flush. And then I did this to make sure it kind of went down into that pocket. It has that little lip up there. If that lip's a problem later, we'll just sand it off. I'm not worried. Not the best ending, but this is how it is. And so far, this model's been beautiful. And so perhaps this will work itself out later. But look at that. Back end is done. This is done. The fin looks great. The only other piece we could put on right now is, here's an example of strange engineering to me, but it's going to work great. You put these pieces, let's see, on like this. And they are going to go on like this, and basically, I guess they just glue right on like that. And they are going to be part of the, they're going to be part of what's the beginning of the elevators, I guess. So one goes there, and the other goes on the other side. So we are going to stop there for a moment. I can put those on just with glue and stuff. You don't need to see that. But that's so nice. That is so cool. And it looks more and more like an airplane. And then down here, again, there's going to be a fillet that goes over this whole thing. And that one will show you how we put it in. But I think it'll be I think it'll work great based on how everything else is fitting. So look at that. One more thing done. So that's awesome.